Come closer, child. The fire burns low, and this is a tale the wind carries from ice and ash alike. A tale of those who live beyond death, and those who return to life not as they were, but as what the world needed them to become. You know the names: Jon Snow, Arya Stark, Daenerys Targaryen. You know the war, the Night King, the ashes of King's Landing, the shattered throne. But the world didn't end with the fall of the Night King. Number that was only the falling curtain of the first act. This is what came next. They thought Daenerys Stormborn died that day in the Red Keep, slain by the man she trusted most, lying in the ruins she had forged with her fire and fury. But the story did not end with a dagger. Drogon, her last living dragon, did not fly west in mourning. No, the great beast flew east, across the narrow sea and far beyond the ragged coasts of Essos, into the dark heart of Old Valyria, the shattered birthplace of dragons and doom. None dared go there. Sailors spoke of stone men and whispering winds. The sky there was wrong, the land always trembling, the air thick with ghost fire and ancient sorcery. Yet Drogon soared over volcanoes that bled flame and settled atop a mountain blacker than obsidian. And there, deep beneath that cursed land, something ancient stirred. They call it Zeragon, the dragon who sleeps, neither god nor beast, but something in between. It had slumbered since before the doom. It had watched Valyria rise, burn, and die. It had waited for a reason to wake. When Daenerys' broken body was laid upon the scorched altar of that sleeping god, fire did not consume her. It remade her. She woke in darkness, her heart beating to the rhythm of dragon wings. She remembered death, cold, silence, and then flame without pain. She did not rise as queen or conqueror. She rose as something more. Daenerys wandered the broken bones of Valyria for what felt like years, though time there twisted. Drogon never left her side, but he was not alone. One by one, from the molten canyons and deep craters, came others, dragons, long thought extinct. Great winged titans, scaled in gold and emerald, sapphire and smoke. Creatures who had hidden from the doom, buried beneath the stone veins of Valyria. They had waited, not for a Targaryen, but for her, and they called her Queen of Flame Reborn. Far away in the frozen world of men, Jon Snow walked the wall again. They had called it punishment, exile, but Jon never sought thrones or thanks. After he slew Daenerys, he had been broken. Yet the Watch welcomed him as one of their own once more. The wall had fallen, but stone and ice can be rebuilt. And so he rebuilt it, not with magic, but with labor, stone by stone, man by man. He did not raise banners. He did not call himself king. But the free folk followed him, the crows followed him, even the dire wolves lingered in his shadow. By the second winter, the wall stood tall again, and Jon Snow, Lord Commander once more, watched the horizon not for kings or queens, but for something colder, because the wind had changed. To the west, beyond maps and mortal memory, Arya Stark had vanished into the mist. They called her legend, the Sea Wolf. Her ship, Nymeria's Grace, sailed into the sunset and vanished from all charts. But Arya had not stopped. She found lands untouched by Westerosi history, archipelagos of stone giants, jungles of living flame, tribes who painted time on their skin. For a while, she forgot the faces of war, until the world reminded her. It began with cold, not the cold of wind, but a silence colder than death. The forest she passed through fell still. Birds vanished, the waters darkened. Then came the dreams of blue eyes, silent kings, and bones that spoke without tongues. And one night, as the mist thickened, her ship was stopped in dead waters. A figure stood upon the waves, a White Walker, but not as she had known. This one wore armor of bone etched in runes older than the first men. It raised a hand. and spoke. "We remember you, Arya of No One, the blood that killed a servant of ice. But you did not kill us. You cannot kill what was never truly alive." Arya struck. Needle flashed, but it passed through mist. The White Walker vanished. Yet something worse remained. A map burned into her mind, a warning, a destination, a promise. Arya returned. Her ship limped into Eastwatch under moonlight. Jon saw her for the first time in years. Older, harder, haunted. They sat beside the fire where once Old Bear gave counsel, and Arya told him, "It's not over, Jon. The Night King was a mask. There's something deeper, older, waking." Jon listened, eyes shadowed. He had heard whispers on the wind, disappearing rangers, wildling tribes vanishing, animals found frozen in spring. They went to Bran, now Lord of Winterfell, the Seer King as some called him. He sat in silence as Arya spoke, then closed his eyes. When he opened them, his voice was colder than any north wind. "I see the frost rising beneath the shivering sea. The children stirred it. They tried to stop the rot in the roots, but they cut too deep. The children of the forest were not extinct, not all of them. In the far north, beneath the caves of forgotten gods, one survived, named Leaf Shade, born before the wall, older than the pact between man and tree. She had seen magic fail, had seen men break the balance, so she tried to fix it. She opened the old gate, unsealed an ancient prison of ice, not knowing that what was locked there was not balance, but hunger. The creature stirring now beneath the world was no mere king. It was a source, the true heart of winter. And it remembered everything. The White Walkers were not reborn, they were recalled. Their memories kept in the frost. Their purpose not to kill, but to cleanse. A world scorched by dragons? It would be frozen clean. It was then in the darkest hour of the revelation that they saw the sky burn. Wings, shadows vast as towns. Fire raining in streaks of gold and crimson, and from the heavens, Drogon descended. Upon his back, surrounded by dragons ancient and mighty, rode Daenerys Stormborn. Her feet touched snow once more, but her eyes burned like embers. Jon saw her. So did Arya. She stepped forward, not with vengeance, but with gravity. "The fire woke me," she said. "And in the fire I saw what's coming." She did not smile. She did not weep. The Daenerys who died in the Red Keep had been broken. This one had been forged anew. Jon could not speak. Arya stepped between them. "Why return?" she asked. "To claim the throne?" "No," Daenerys said. "To protect the world that hated me. Because I saw the ice,